there has been some speckling rumors of cult activity in various parts of the world again, and people are starting to get a little bit worried. One of the places that there has been rumors has been in the town of Einvend, in the region of Einstead, in the kingdom of Norland, which is up in the north. I guess I have the map of the kingdom somewhere, but
We'll take your word for it.
It's somewhere in there. Anyway,
we'll edit it in.
Yes, we'll edit it in post.
Yeah.
You guys had gotten, one day you walked into the guild hall. And there was a notice on the notice board that was looking for a party of adventurers to go and investigate the disappearances in Einvend.
Disappearances of cultists?
People.
Or people. Oh, okay.
Because you guys realized, not you guys, but the town of Einvend had sent out a basically, SOS kind of, hey, people have been disappearing at an alarming rate for the last 3 months.
Calling all guilds.
And we need some assistance. And Wayward Valor was the first to take it and be like, okay, we're going to do this. And so they sent people out there, and you guys are one of those groups that are going out to go and deal with it. So you guys have been traveling up there via your carriage that you guys all own together in your little party. It's a covered wagon. Yeah. You guys are fancy enough to have a nice covered wagon. You have like 2 horses and some good supplies in there, It's a little home base, kind of, that you guys travel around with whenever you're...
sizable to fit everybody.
Yes. And they're pulled by, some good, draft horses that can pull heavy
Who did we decide can drive?
I believe Creed can.
I can!
No, Fleck. Sit down, Fleck.
Fleck, your feet can't reach the pedals.
Sure can, what?
He just wears platform boots.
Yeah. 2 foot tall flat platform boots.
As you guys are entering the town of Einvend, you kind of have some recollection of what the guildmaster had told you guys about it. It's known as the Town of Towers because there are across the hills that it is built upon. There are many old wooden towers that were built many years ago. As a part of the kingdom of Norland, it participates in the Great Migration, where everyone who lives in the town will move to another town every few years. It is something weird that the kingdom established back when it was literally nomads living in tents, and they just haven't dropped the habit. It doesn't make any sense to anyone outside the town, outside the country, and they don't tell anyone what it's all about because it's sacred to them.
Oh, okay.
So that's my way of saying, I don't know, logistically it makes no sense, but it's a cool concept.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about our characters. That way the listeners can know who we are. Who you guys are.
I like your little voice crack.
Oh, thanks. I've been training.
Do you want to try that again? Okay.
It sounded like you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, so that way, or whoever's watching this, you will be able to know what our characters are all about. So let's go around the table.
You start.
Okay. I am Claire Snowclaws. I work for the Wayward Valor Gilding Company. Giant cat, goldish fur, Maine Coon level fur. Very fluffy. Very fluffy. Green eyes, white long sleeve shirt with a green vest, leather skirt, and brown boots with several chatelaines.
Nice. And what kind of what class are you?
I am a fighter arcane archer.
Is it me?
Is
it
you?
me?
Hey,
Hello?
tell us about your character.
Okay, I am playing a half-elf light domain cleric named Marilisa Everbright. She is... Let's see, how tall is she? She is...
Important details.
But again, so she's about 5'9". She's got like warm brown skin, sort of white gold hair that's styled to cover one of her eyes, and she's got sort of pale violet eyes. She wears a lot of gold and beige clothes and lots of accessories that she makes herself.
Very crafty.
Let's see. Yeah. She is a cleric of a sun goddess named Anahel, who Ian let me homebrew.
Yay!
So that means she's a hot lady.
Necessarily.
Yeah.
Completely necessarily.
Completely necessarily. She has a set of prayer beads with her goddess's sigil on it that she uses as her focus. Well, that's Mary Lisa. She's a mom friend.
Oh, yeah.
I am playing Plek the Undauntable, who is a goblin. He's a goblin warlock hexblade, and he's got a magical sword that turns into a glove when he's not using it. And he's small, he's a child, he's a dumb child.
Aww.
He has an 8 in wisdom and intelligence. And he's not only a child in the figurative sense, but he's also 6 years old. So he's like young teenager in goblin years, and he is wide-eyed and wondrous, and he wears a bunch of raggedy clothes and kind of like junk armor that he found in the trash on the streets, and he wears it proudly. And he's also got a bunch of like random pieces of jewelry that he found through adventuring and finding treasure and stuff that he just wears.
Also from the trash.
Also from the trash, because he wants to look shiny like a knight in shining armor.
His middle name is Tamatoa.
Yeah. Plek Tamatoa the Undauntable.
So, my character is Eustace Creed Jones, or as everybody calls him, Creed. He's a cowboy. He takes a lot of inspiration from Clint Eastwood. He's an 8th level elfin ranger, and his backstory is essentially he used to be the sheriff around them parts, until some cultists showed up one day, and while I was trying to fight him, one of them fired a little firebolt straight into his arrow. The splintering action from the arrow caused him to go blind in his right eye. So ever since then, he's been looking for not only the cultists, but all his townspeople that were abducted by the cultists, or so he thinks. They were completely gone by the time he came to. As far as how he looks, he's got, the good old-fashioned cowboy hat, and Viridian poncho, along with just some simple leather armor and some chaps,
Yeah.
Alrighty. So with that out of the way, you guys now know who the characters are. Everyone is acquainted with each other.
Mm-hmm.
We have been adventuring with each other for a while. That's why we're at 8th level.
Yes.
Whopping 8th.
8th level, so high.
Wow.
Higher than some people start out with. As in
Higher than most people start out,
yes. Yeah, so you guys have been adventuring for a while. You guys have a pretty good dynamic, pretty good understanding of how each of your strengths and weaknesses are as far as in character. Outside of character, we'll figure that out as we play. But otherwise, so as you guys enter into Einven Town, I gotta get the music. So as you guys are walking through you're going through the town, there's a lot of bustle and muscle around as people are tending their stalls and their shops and stuff, calling out to you, asking you, if you need any supplies. You've kind of gotten used to this through your travels through Einven, or through the Kingdom of Norland, as they usually have a lot of hospitality for travelers. It's part of their culture with their whole migration thing. So, people are, calling out to you all over the place about, hey, do you need any, water jugs for your journeys? Do you need anything like this or anything like that? All sorts of people.
I grab like one of every small thing I can carry and just like compile like just an armful of supplies.
You guys are still in your carriage. Yeah.
Plek has hopped out.
Plek's hopped out. He's heard the commotion, so...
Ooh, thank you. Oh, yes. We're definitely going to need that too.
Plek, dear, don't wander too far.
Don't worry, I got it.
And like as maybe a few things fall like below my armpit as I carry it to the cart.
People are all so so impressed by your strength as you're carrying all these little things. They're like, oh, look at him. Yeah, there's.
Pass him the
Paper all
sack.
down.
What? Oh.
Please pass him the sack.
Plek, darling, come take this. It'll help you carry some of your stuff.
Ooh, thank you, Mary.
Grabs it and start pulling the stuff in.
They of course are asking for their little payments of stuff of a couple of coppers and
Did we do starting gold?
It doesn't matter.
We did.
Yes.
We rolled.
Oh yeah, they rolled last night. You weren't there. It's fine. Just 150.
Cool.
Boom.
Lit.
So as you're kind of walking around, you guys can start to notice there are a few people who don't look as joyous. They're kind of they're like putting their heads down as they're buying their things. They're looking a little bit out of sorts. And you also start to hear in the distance a kind of bell ringing as someone starts to shout. It's the town crier, and he's like, more news, another's gone missing. You can just start hearing people kind of start to whisper among themselves as they try to figure out who it is. As you guys, are you guys like making your way towards the town crier?
I suppose we should speak with the crier first.
So
Mary Lisa's like doing this, like
she's hand
little
on
distressed,
face.
yeah.
Oh.
like, oh, woe is this town.
Yes. Whoa.
Who was it that sent it to us? The notice originally. Did it have a name, or was it just?
It was from the town of Einvend. It was the entire the government of the town has sent out the notice for people to come out. So as you guys approach the town crier, it did not go over.
Just hold it.
There we go.
Hey.
So you guys see a notice board. Eric, I'm going to switch you over to the notice board really quick because you're different than everyone else. So you guys see the crier standing next to this notice board, and you can see plastered against it just tons of flyers of various description. People, all of them, or most of them, having the words missing, bold at the top. There are descriptions and silhouettes of different people, sketches of their faces. And you can see the crier is, notices the whole party kind of show up in their big old carriage.
And Fleck just run around with arms full of stuff.
So, what do you guys want to do?
I get out of the carriage and I'm going to approach the town crier.
I am also going to get out of the carriage. I'm going to approach the board directly.
Okay, so you approach the board directly. You're going to the crier. You're
Yes.
running.
I'll
around.
follow behind with my
with the crier
sack
as well.
of stuff.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys go up to the crier.
Yeah, I sort of nod and say,
Excuse me, can you tell us a little bit more about what's going on? We were sent by the Wayward Valor Guild to investigate what's been going on.
Another of the Wayward Valor. Another one of your groups had come up here about a week ago to help out, though they
We knew about
seem
this.
to have been a bit distracted. Either way,
Oh dear.
yes, for the last 3 months there's been many disappearances amongst our populace. Almost as if they've been in sequence. They always seem to happen around 8 days apart from each other. People have been getting more and more scared, locking their houses, boarding their windows as things have, picked up, as more and more people have disappeared. At this point, we have 11 people missing that are confirmed to have been within that schedule.
Are there any...
How long was it since the last time y'all had somebody go missing?
As you ask that, he kind of turns down and grabs a flyer from a box near him, and it is a brand new, freshly minted flyer from just today. It says on the top of it, "Missing Panther Hunter, gorgeous steely fur."
Who writes these here flyers?
They are usually written by the one reporting the missing person, with help from our our journalists and things that keep the notice board up to date.
So, could you tell me, are there any patterns as to where people are taken, or any evidence that's left behind?
That's what I was looking for at the notice board to
does
see
it-
if they mentioned anything.
Does it seem to happen outdoors or inside people's houses, or are there any people of particular occupations or something of the like?
Right. So he starts to explain, and you're kind of getting the same gist as you're looking through the notice board at all the flyers and kind of piecing together your the information.
Mm-hmm.
But he explains that there seems to be no distinct correlation between any of the people. It's young, old, well off, poor. All sorts of people have been going missing from all around the town.
do these happen on the streets, or do people that have locked themselves in their houses still go missing?
Yes.
Great.
The people have it's almost as if they're whisked away by some force, and yet they haven't been able to detect any magic with their own wizards of any sort going on, or anything that they know is traceable. So
This is a very strange occurrence indeed.
yes.
It seems like whoever's trying to take away these people is intentionally making it as randomized as possible.
Possibly. I honestly don't know the best, all of the information. I'm just the town crier, but
Do you know who we could speak to get more information then?
the captain of the guard would be a good place to start. He's usually pretty welcoming to adventuring crews like yourself. Also, you could talk to the commander of the scouts. One of theirs was one of the first to go missing, so that might be they've been the longest on the case.
Where can we find both of these people?
The captain could be found in the tall tower over that way. He points to one of the towers on one of the hills. And the commander can be found on the outskirts, the commander of the scouts on the outskirts of town at the third tower over there. The towers are very useful for keeping track of where things are.
It certainly
Well-
seems so.
Well, since we're already in town, might as well go see the captain.
Yes. If you would like to look and to see who the missing people are, you can look at the notice board and do it over
Certainly.
there, or you can of course probably get that information from anyone else.
Yeah, we'll take a look. Thank you.
All right.
Before we go, what are the various types of supplies that I've gotten from people?
Okay, so you got water skins, you got a bunch of random rations and stuff. You got
You got some fantasy Doritos.
you got some Doritos.
Meat on a stick.
Yeah. You got some a potion that doesn't actually heal you, but it
Quenches
makes you
your
feel
thirst.
nicer.
It's an awkward potion.
Yeah.
It's just some V8.
Yeah, it's V8. Yeah,
I'm
like
gonna-
juice and stuff, all this kind of miscellaneous
Ye old
traveling
Gatorade.
supplies.
As we go, I'm going to hand him one water skin. Thank you for working hard, Mr. Crier. We'll find your people.
Thank you. He kind of opens it and he's like, takes a drink.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a look at the notice board to see
Alright.
who the missing people were.
Cool. So, looking along the notice board, you get a good spread of people. Like they said, there's 11 people who are missing in the time frame that has been suggested. So there's a young girl who is the daughter of the blacksmith, or a blacksmith, an elderly man who was known to visit the crypts around the towns, a guardsman, a bartender. Like I said, die. No.
Thunder booms as God coughs.
Yes. The first disappearance being that member of the scouts, the scouts of Lochnaw. A wizard who kept himself inside his hut most of the time. A panther hunter who you guys just heard about. A prisoner. The second son of a wealthy noble. A member of the mercenary crew, and the wife of a trader, like a merchant.
Not a
treasonous person. You also see a couple, one that is much older than the others that has that seems to have been framed, and two that don't look like they were made by the same notary people. The older one is of a. It says that this person went missing 2 years ago. But it is the head cleric of the church in town who was set to become the head cleric of the kingdom. He went missing 2 years ago. They're still looking for him.
I mean, that's
Just
when all the
in
stuff
case.
was popping off.
Wait, so did he make it to the kingdom? Or did he not?
Oh no, he's missing. Like he just
Entirely.
disappeared one day. And then there's someone's missing cat. It's apparently it's a familiar of some sort.
Oh, no.
How does that
I
work?
think they just saw that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
good
then
to know.
also you see one that says missing idiot bard.
Ugh.
And then that's all it says.
Good.
So that's what you guys glean from the notice board.
I look at the idiot bar and I was like, I suppose they expect we'll know them when we see them.
I'm assuming it's
Oh, it does tell they have information of if you are if you have any information, come see us, or if you need to help come see us at these locations. Each of them has a location written.
So we have a few options. Which
Yeah.
Which one do you guys think?
Well, we need to go look at the captain of the
I
Oh,
think
guard.
we should go-
that's right. That's right. Captain
Yeah.
first.
Well, we've gotten a good look at the people that have gone missing. I suppose we should speak with the captain of the guard now.
I'm certainly not seeing any parallels.
No. Yeah.
All right. So you guys head off.
Yes.
Okay.
While I walk, I help Fleck Tetris his stuff in his bag so it fits better.
I got it.
No, but you have to fit it so then you can fit more things.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yes.
Thank you, Mary.
Oh, of course.
All right. So you guys start heading off. I guess I'll switch back to the other one. So you guys can see. So you guys are heading off in this direction towards one of the towers over here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the guard captain. So as you guys approach the tower, you can see there are some guardsmen out and about. You know, people training on the training dummies and archery range and things. The tower itself is fairly well fortified around it. It looks like this is one of the more defensible places in the city, considering everywhere else kind of looks like it could be easily broken down and rebuilt. This is one of the more permanent locations. As you kind of approach, the guard, one of the guards hails you. She's an elf woman. She walks up to you. It's like, "Hail, well met."
Hello.
Howdy.
We were hoping to speak with the captain of the guard about the disappearances that have been happening lately.
Ah, and are you with one of the guilds?
Yes.
Or with Wayward Valor.
Wayward Valor. I've heard good things about them recently.
Well, I hope we can continue to uphold our reputation.
I'm sure you will. I'll get the captain notified. You may have to wait here for a bit, though.
That's all right.
So she starts to walk off.
Wait, I like before she does, I kind of just like grab like
Of
her,
her shirt.
her shirt.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Yes, little one.
can you sign my book? And Plek pulls out a book that has signatures of various other guards that he's met around the way and hands her a quill.
Sure. This odd request. I've never had someone ask for this. So she goes and she very quickly signs it with expert penmanship as she hands it back to you. And the name there is Liliana Tival.
Cool.
So,
Plek's eyes are sparkling as he grabs the book. Thank you.
you're very welcome. And then she kind of looks and is like, very well behaved.
This is like getting autographs from the princesses of Disney.
It absolutely is.
So she wanders off.
Okay.
You guys have
We're
kind
big
of, free reign of walking around the training area if you'd like, or
Yeah, I'm
just
gonna-
sitting around.
I'm gonna just sort of look around, sort of instinct to get some reconnaissance.
Mm-hmm.
Going to inspect the people who are shooting.
Shooting, right. You gotta make sure their form's correct and everything.
Creed is gonna do the same.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
these
I
two
just-
guys
I-
coaching people.
I turn to Flag and say,
Yes, darling, do you want to help me look around and get a feel for the area?
Oh, yeah.
And I'll follow. I'll follow Mary.
So we'll start with you guys with the archers. As you guys are kind of like looking, you notice most of them are pretty good. They're not the best archers you've seen, but they're guardsman level. They can
Do their
hit.
job well.
They can hit a bandit or a wolf or something if they aim it right. You do see that there is a couple of them that are kind of like just like sitting watching them. They don't they have their bows just resting against the ground, not really paying much attention to anything. They're just like. But otherwise, the archers are kind of like inspecting your equipment. The ones that like as you walk by with one, they shoot an arrow and then they see you and they're like, oh, okay, that's a bow. That's another bow.
Are any of
that's a
them
it's a cat.
It's a very large cat, a large bow.
Are any of them left-handed?
Yeah, there's a couple.
How good are they?
Well, let's see.
Inspect the lefties.
One of them is decent. The other one is terrible.
Okay, so Creed's gonna. I'm gonna assume that they're kind of close to each other.
Yeah,
being
yeah.
that they're both left-handed.
You're commiserating.
Creed's gonna go up to them and be like, "Howdy, partners. You'll need a little help with the left-handed here."
The one who's pretty decent is like, I think I've got it, sir. And he goes and he shoots and it hits in the target. The other one is like yeah, I got it. And he shoots and it hits a tree. He's like,
Is that your target there?
it's a rogue botanier.
Ah, I see. Got a lot of those where I'm from. Say, if I can show you a moment right quick, and he's gonna pull out his own bow, and he's gonna like show his like typical technique for like steadying his aim and making sure like you're aiming at the right place and that the wind is correct and all that. He's like, if you do it like this, see, you can aim and hit him right between the eyes, and he's gonna loose an arrow to the target.
Okay, roll.
Yep.
Here we go. First roll of the game.
He rolled a 26.
Okay.
Oh.
21. Yeah, even if he didn't, if he had
He's
advantage,
fine.
so he easily, hits that bullseye. Very, very good. The kid, because he's a younger guardsman. He's like, whoa, so like this, and he's gonna roll and see if he can do any better.
Do that again.
And he goes and he kind of takes what you said into practice, and he hits the target, and it's pretty good. It's actually slightly better than what the other guy did, but not so great to where it's like immediately a bullseye.
That's good. Y'all learning.
Thanks.
But
This is my
Let me
first
tell you,
day.
let me tell you, it's a lot harder to relearn how to shoot a bow. He kind of like points at his eye patch.
And he kind of looks at me like, well, I'll try to wear some goggles. Try goggles. He pulls out a little note and writes down, try goggles.
Good.
That is not a bad idea.
Best of luck to y'all fellers.
Alrighty. So, so that's you guys. You guys go and kind of like wander about. Anything in particular you're looking for, or you're just kind of like...
Just sort of getting a feel for what's around, what sort of people are moseying about.
Okay. Yeah, so the good thing is that you're at the top of a hill. So you're able to see pretty decently around. So, you're kind of looking around, you see in the immediate area of the guard training ground, of course, there are the guards training. But outside of that, there are, some people kind of wandering the streets. They look like, in this area, it's one of the more up areas. People are a little bit nicer dressed than when you first entered town. They don't seem to be walking with a pompous air, but they do seem to be walking like yeah, I'm doing good. This is, I'm doing well. They don't seem all too frightened, to be honest, considering all the disappearances. They seem to think that they're, it's just
It's not gonna happen
it's
to
not
me.
gonna happen to me. Yeah, right. It's like it's been what, 11 people in 3 months or whatever.
I comment to Mary. They all seem to be pretty happy considering how many people are going missing.
Yes, they do seem quite unworried, which is a bit odd. I suppose they just think it's not going to happen to them, so why should they worry? Which, it doesn't seem like a particularly wise outset. I suppose it can't be helped.
Yeah. One of the guards actually walks up as you're saying that, and he kind of spits on the ground as he's walking by.
Mary Lisa looks like a little affronted.
He looks, like he's a bit more hardened than some of the other guards, and he's like, yeah, well, what's there to worry about if they can get you while your house is locked up?
It would seem like there'd be quite a lot more to worry about if they can get you while your house is locked up.
I mean, sure, but what's the point in worrying? Because, you're just gonna worry and worry and worry, and then, you're gonna get taken anyway, even if you are worried, right? Does it make sense? I think it makes sense. I make a lot of sense. You can tell this guy is not,
Yeah. Plex slowly puts away his autograph card.
Or he starts to,
Yeah.
Mary just kind of
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Mary is like, no, not this one.
Well, I appreciate your insight into the situation. Have you heard anything much about what's been going on? Can you tell me a little bit more about it? We're here with the Wayward Valor Guild to investigate it a bit, and we're waiting on the captain of the guard now.
Okay. Wayward Valor, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Didn't your other group come in here and make a mess the other day?
Did they? We didn't. We heard that somebody got dispatched. We hadn't heard how it had gone.
All I know is they have not done anything for this town. Guild types are always saying they're so good for the environment or whatever, but
What are they doing now?
they're just hanging out at the tavern like a bunch of bozos.
Yeah. Perhaps we should pay them a visit and see what's happened.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very responsible.
Yes. Well, thank you for letting us know. We'll see what we can find out.
Okay, sure. He kind of just walks off and is like,
Bye, mister.
yeah.
I look down at Plek and say, that sort of person I don't think has any place in your autograph book, dear.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, after you guys kind of have these little interactions, Liana comes back down. She kind of waves you all over. She's like, the captain of the guard will see you now.
Thank you.
And so she, leads you into the tower and then into one of the side rooms on the base level. There you see an older gentleman sitting there. He's a dwarf, and he has these, long locks of white hair that are all braided into a tight braid at his back, and he kind of is sitting on a stool at his desk. As you enter, he looks over at you guys and is like, "Wayward Val, right?"
Yes. It's a pleasure to meet
Yes,
you.
sir.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you as well. You seem a lot more competent than the last crew that came through.
I
Tell us about that, please.
Yes, I heard from one of the guards here that they made a mess.
And that they're hanging around at the tavern? It doesn't sound like they did a really good job.
They're what?
Hanging out at the tavern?
According to one of the guards there.
Thank you.
Yeah,
were
it was
going to ask you
that
after.
that all-girl group of what did they call themselves? I don't remember. It was like the
Etiquette, would we know to supply it?
yeah. You guys know immediately they're causing some trouble, and they're an all-girl group. That it's the
Oh my god, it's the plastics.
It's the Spice Girls.
it is the Spice Girls. No,
Oh my god.
it's the man. I had a name for them, but I completely forgot. It's the
Did you write it down anywhere?
You have notes.
I had it written down at work, and I was like, I'll write this
no.
down in my notes when I get back home,
That's
and then
okay.
I left it at work. It was something like the careful quad, because there's 4 of them, or something like that. And it's a very bad name for them because they're anything but careful.
So I say,
The careful quad.
And he's like, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, they came in here about a week ago. They said they were here to help with the disappearances and everything, and immediately they were, chasing down one of their own. Apparently something, I don't know, one of them went missing.
Oh,
But
dear.
it wasn't even like...
The Careful Quad is now a trio?
Oh, yeah, I guess now. But here's the thing, right, is like, there's certain things that I would say is a telltale sign that one of the people who went missing is part of this, 8-day period thing, and this was not one of them, because we know that she ran off somewhere. And we usually don't know how someone disappeared, so... Anyway, that's not really a concern of our guards, that's your own people's problem, so...
Yes, we'll be sure to question them about it afterwards. Anyway, can you tell us more about the disappearances?
Yeah, of course.
It's just the look of "you've got to be kidding me" on Claire's face.
Morelli's like, just a hand or shoulder, like,
So
calm down.
Claire, of course, as one of the people who takes care of a lot of the business of the guild, knows an awful lot about the careful quad. They are the most troublesome of the Wayward Valor, but they also usually get results. And that's the thing, is they usually get results pretty good, but it usually goes in the wrong ways in almost every way.
That's why they've been able
So
to
that's-
stay with the guild somehow.
That's how
They're Jesse and James.
They are Jesse and Jim.
Accidentally saving the world.
Yeah.
Yes, they're protecting the world from devastation. So you remember that immediately from all your dealings of like, oh, they wasted a lot of money there.
Oh, they've trashed this bar. Now we have to send more money to them.
Yes. But anyway, so the guard captain starts to describe what's going on. So he says, about 3 months ago, one of the scouts of Lorknal disappeared on one of her voyages out into the wilderness to check for any danger surrounding the town. And at first
Claire's writing everything.
Right.
Captain's not.
at first we assumed that something had happened to her on her journey, but the scouts weren't able to find her, any trace of her, let alone her body or her weapons or anything. That was the first sign that something was strange. From then, every 8 days, there has been another disappearance. The second one was
That's your brain cell going
Yes.
off.
The second one was an old wizard who lived far out of town. He only came to visit every once in a while to get supplies to continue his hermitage, I guess. Again, it seemed like there could have been something along the road that had gotten him, but everyone that knew him couldn't find him. After that, it was the son of a noble, and that's when everything started to get a little bit more looked into. Of course, how nobles are. If their bloodline starts to disappear, they're all up in arms. And while we were definitely searching out the other two who had gone missing, this is when the guard was in full force looking for them. After that, it just continued to happen. Time and time again, someone would disappear, and we'd have no way of figuring out where they went. We even enlisted the help of one of the nearby magical schools to have their diviner come through and see if they could find anything, sense any magic, determine any sort of motives from their magics and anything. But they couldn't find anything at all. And it started getting more troublesome as the disappearances started happening, even when people would close their doors, lock them, board their windows. There'd be no sign of forced entry, nothing. It was becoming more and more bizarre, and that's why we sent out the call to the guilds. This was just becoming something that was too dangerous and mysterious for our guards to handle. Even one of our guards went missing, and that was extremely unfortunate.
When was that?
That was about 2 weeks ago. Yes, his wife and small child are at home wondering where their father is, and we have no answers for them.
Do the disappearances tend to happen at a certain time of day? Do they usually happen at night? Or
Unfortunately, they happen seemingly randomly.
It seems the only pattern with these disappearances is their randomness.
Yes.
That 24-hour period of that last day.
Either way, we are greatly appreciative of the Wayward Valor coming in to aid us, even if, some are more willing than others.
Our sincerest apologies for that.
It's alright. Every group has their, outliers. As far as where I would start, of course, starting from the beginning is always a good place, or starting from the most recent. I heard most recently it was a Panther hunter.
I see. We were told that somebody else we could speak with was the captain of the scouting group.
Ah, yes, she would be a good person to speak to. She has been the longest on the case, of course, looking for her lost scout.
Always have the most data.
How long ago was it till the last person disappeared?
The most recent disappearance was 2 days ago. That was reported by Vilkis Goldreef, one of our merchants in town. He's one of our butchers.
Well, I suppose we got 6 days to figure this all out before somebody else goes missing.
We'll find them.
We'll certainly do our best.
We will.
Thank you. He shakes all of your hands. He as he goes to shake your hand, he sees your glove and is just like, oh, okay.
I'm holding the autograph book.
And then he's like, oh, okay. And then
I hand
he's
him
like,
the
yes,
quill.
Liliana told me about this. And he goes, and his penmanship's a lot less, fluid.
It's like, just a
As he
line.
then
Thank
hands
you.
it to you. So yeah, you guys are escorted out of the guard tower.
So I kind of look between the group and I say, should we split up, cover more ground for now? Or should we
I'm going
tackle
to
it
the bar.
together right now?
If they're still being a nuisance.
Plek is just like hiding behind the book. Ooh, Claire's mad.
Considering we have so much time to not spare here, but to get to the bottom of things, I don't think it's entirely necessary for us to split up. Let's go ahead and take care of the ruffians in the tavern first.
They're
Alright.
in trouble.
Yes, they are, Plek. Yes, they are.
All right.
Right here we've got good cop, bad cop.
So
Like, Claire's gonna get mad, but Mary Louise is just gonna say, I'm not mad, I'm just as
mom friend.
Yeah.
She's gonna mom the heck out of them.
Yeah.
All right. So as you guys are making your way towards the tavern, the guard captain told you which tavern they were at.
While we go there, I remind Plek not to take any drinks because he's underage.
But
you guys
that's what heroes drink. They go to
I
the
know,
tavern
and
to
you'll be-
celebrate battles.
No, and you'll be able to drink it when you're older, but right now you're just too young. Your brain is still developing.
Oh,
Look, when you're old enough, I'll treat you to your first drink.
yeah. Okay.
So as you guys are making your way over there, you start to recall the members of the Careful Quad. The leader is Kaluna.
Kaluna?
Kaluna,
Cool.
yes. She is a ranger, and she's pretty skilled with her bow, but she also has no faith in her allies at all. But
Right.
she keeps them around because they're funny. So
Because they're funny.
yeah. So she is the leader of the group. There's also Manamonoko, who is
Okay.
the Blizzard Wizard.
Mana Manuka.
Manamonoko, the
Does
Blizzard
she have a
Wizard.
nickname?
Yes, Manny.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna let you guys take the notes.
Blizzard Wizard.
Blizz
yes,
Wiz.
the Blizz Wiz. She is known
The
for
Blizzard. The
having
Wizard.
extremely good ice magic that she always
I really
forgets
kind
to
of
use.
hoped you were gonna say fire magic.
Oh my god.
There is Tina, who's the party paladin.
Cool.
And she was really sheltered as a child, as in she literally wasn't allowed outside for most of her childhood. And so she's still trying to figure out how social cues work. And so she's the tank of the party, but she also is like not quite sure what is going on most of the time when everyone's talking.
She's just taking his like what?
Yes. And then there is
Somebody bashes her shield. Friend or foe?
there's Alaya, who is the bard. She's the ditzy redhead bard who runs around and has a
Was that
didgeridoo.
stupid bard?
No, Idiot Bard was kidnapped.
Oh, yeah.
That's not her.
By the way, I will want descriptions later so I can draw the girl gang.
Yes, of course. So, yeah, you guys make it to the tavern where you can already hear Kaluna's voice shouting at someone, anyway. And as you guys enter, you start to hear their conversation. Good riddance, I say. She always got in the way. And you see Kalula just kind of like waving off the tall Blizzard Wizard, Manny, who's kind of like taken aback and is like, that's a bit harsh, heartless and everything. Don't you think it's kind of important that the group stays together? She's our healer after all. So Kalula just kind of keeps on yelling about all this stuff, and Tina just kind of is looking and just like, she is so fierce. I don't understand. How does she have such frost in her eyes? And so she just seems to be watching them.
So Eli's missing.
Eli is missing, yes.
Okay.
Oh, I also have to play their music.
Oh, okay.
Of course they have music, why wouldn't they?
It's just girls just want to have fun with something longer.
Not exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're all arguing and talking to each other. And as you guys, get closer, Kalula sees you and immediately tenses up.
At this point,
I
Claire's
wear-
hair has has fluffed up.
Claire, maybe I think you might scare them off.
Then guard the exit.
No.
Click.
Claire,
Click
darling.
leave.
Claire.
Click leans in like.
I'm gonna come up as well and say,
Hi, Kaluna. Nice to see you.
Hi, great to see you too.
Claire, let's step back just a bit.
Do you want to know how I
Claire,
heard you guys
Claire,
are in
darling,
town?
Claire.
Clec is gonna lean in from like behind Claire's legs, like ooh.
Creed's gonna like put a hand on Fleck's shoulders, like, you don't want to get in between that partner.
Do you pull down your hat over your head, your eyes?
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Someone told me you were just drinking at the bar. That you were meant to be here to help people with the disappearances.
Well, we were helping people. We were looking
And
around.
you're here.
Yes, well, that's because Elia's gone. She went missing, like the others. And
What are the others?
Claire,
That's not true.
Hold on. Let's dial it back. We were told that there was evidence, or that all signs pointed that Elia had run off.
At this,
Okay.
Manny kind of steps forward and she's like, yeah, so about that, she started getting like chased down by a cat, and she freaked out because the cat had a witch's hat on, and
Well, that's probably the missing familiar that we saw.
What is that thumping noise?
it's
Heather's
It's Claire's nails on a table.
Oh, okay.
just
So She's like, yeah, it kind of looked like my hat, except it was pink, and her hat's like really big and blue.
You know, I do love all these details, but Eli is missing.
Yes. Well,
Shouldn't we go find her?
Yeah. So she was chased by a cat and didn't come back.
Well, she was chased by a cat, and she did come back, and then Kalula started yelling at her, and then they started fighting, and then she ran off again, and then we haven't seen her since. So.
Which way did she run?
And then, so at this, she kind of looks at Kalula and is like, if you didn't yell at her, she probably wouldn't have run away. And then they just start getting into a spat immediately as it's going on.
I turn to Tina.
And I say, Tina, darling, do you know anything about where Elia went?
Oh, yeah. She went. You know the big tower over that way? She kind of points through a window. You can see there's like a big, one of the tall towers over that way. She's like, she started running in that direction, said something about just like trying to get away. I don't know what that means. But,
well.
I look at Kaluna and Manny, and I say,
I don't think I can blame her. Well, thank you.
What do you mean?
It's probably better if you're ignorant. Thank you for your help. We'll do our best to figure things out and hopefully find Elia along the way.
Well, that'd be great. I'd really like to be able to continue our adventure.
Yes.
Just the one functioning one.
I know this may seem odd, but do you know where the cat went?
Oh, she went in that direction. She points towards the tower.
Did the cat happen to be following Elia?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Following is when they're behind someone, so yes.
Thank you for clarifying. Thank you, Tina.
Alright, well, you guys have a great time looking for our bard.
We'll do our best.
How about this?
Over here in line.
Well, don't get mad at Tina. I don't think
No,
she's
sorry. I'm sorry, Tina. Excuse me.
You're mad? She's mad?
Don't at you.
I love these girl gang.
Going back to, she's gonna turn back to Kaluna?
Yeah,
Kaluna
and Manny.
Kaluna and
Who are currently arguing about how Manny never uses her 3 spells. How she's always saving them for something, but she never uses them. I'm saving it in case we need it. We always need it!
Okay, girls. As we are now your damage control, would you please go home? We will find Elia.
Well, could we wait at least until she's back and then go home?
You were the one that chased her off.
Oh, listen. Just don't cause.
I'm the boss of my gang. I tell them where we go.
I step up. My mom and
Why did I say that? Oh, why did I say that to Claire?
Yeah.
she immediately goes and cuddles into a corner and she's just like, oh, I mean, of course, Claire. We'll leave immediately. Elia will be able to find her way back to the guild hall easily. She usually steps up and is like, Manny, Tina, let's go!
That is exactly what I like to hear from you, Kaluna. We'll see you later.
Bye!
Before they leave, Plek is gonna say hi to Tina. Hi, Tina. And then immediately go hide behind Mary.
Tina quickly turns around and is just like, I heard Plek's voice.
Oh.
He's gone. And then she turns around and leaves.
And Plek just buries his face in Mary Lisa's gown, just like.
It's alright. It's alright.
By the way, yes, she is wearing shining armor because she is a heck of a paladin.
Your armor is the better paladin you are.
Exactly. So you guys now know that,
Oh, I love this group.
Claire, do you think? The
Do you see why their
intimidation
song is that
necessary?
song?
I feel like.
They needed to leave. They needed to get out of this town.
I suppose that's fair.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of concerned about sending Elia by herself back to the group if she got scared so easily in the first place.
We can help her. We can escort her back. Maybe.
Maybe.
That's true enough.
Not a bad idea, Plek.
Or we could arrange
I guess we'll have to
transportation for
find her
you.
first.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Yes.
All
And
right.
apparently the missing cat.
Yes.
There are a lot of missing people.
So, you guys, I guess, head out of the tavern.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we head to the scout captain? Since one of hers was the first to go missing.
How far away is the tower and how far away is the scout captain?
The
The tower that Elia ran off to.
Elias Tower is like around here. The scout captain's is out here.
Okay, so we can hit the
It's
tower
on
on
the
the way.
way.
Yeah.
Well, shall we go to that tower that she pointed out?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Let's head on out.
All right. So as you guys are heading that way, you start to hear a voice crying out, "Hello, kitty, kitty, are you there?"
Is that Eli's voice?
No,
I looked at
this
Claire
is
and
a
said,
different voice.
Oh, it's a different one.
Claire, are
Okay.
they talking to you?
She's
and then
just like,
I give her just a shake
immediately
hand.
she goes, "Call me Tony! Get your butt out here!"
I'm going to say no.
Creed is chuckling.
I'm going to track down the voice.
Okay. As you
I think
kind
I
of-
can do that with my 20 wisdom.
Yes. You immediately find a young girl. She looks to be a half elf or something. She has like the pointy ears, but she's not a full elf height. She has this really long blue hair,
Nice.
and she that you can tell is very well kept. You can see that she has little brushes magically going through them nearly constantly to keep the knots out. She doesn't exactly know if this is the right idea, but
Oh my god.
Bless your
she is wearing a large pink witch's hat and has a flowing pink robe, and she's just kind of skipping around going, "Comey, Tommy,
How old
come
is she?
out here."
How old does she look?
She looks probably like maybe 16, 17. She could be older, but her half elven name. Well, I mean, you probably would be able to tell she is older than that. She just looks young.
I'm going to kind of just say,
Excuse me, miss?
She spins around and kind of goes like this. "Oh, hello! Are you looking for the great Magus Louise?"
Well, we were actually looking for a missing person and a missing cat.
"Oh, you're looking for my cat. I'm going to assume it's my cat."
Was
And
it wearing
also a person.
"Oh, but my cat. You said something about my cat."
Yes.
Were you the one on the missing poster? Was that yours?
Yes. Well, see, I saw that all these posters were put up, and I said, "Oh, well, if some people's missing things have been put on the poster, my cat can go on there."
We
How
heard.
long ago did
Oh,
you
by the way, I should
have your
introduce
cat?
myself. I'm the great Magus Louise.
Yes.
I am the Harvest Witch. Oh, yeah, Harvest Witch.
Pleasure to meet you. My name is Mary Lisa. I shake her hand.
Yeah, she shakes her hand very bouncily.
Claire Snowclaws.
She tries to bounce, but your grip's very tough.
Hi, I'm Plek.
Hello there, Plek.
oh my god.
And who is this mysterious man? Oh, Creed. Anyway.
We were told that somebody saw your cat chasing after the missing person we're looking for.
Yes. Betrayed me, has she? Who would rather harvest with another witch? I say, to do so makes her the buzzing bee before an itch.
Which direction do you think that they went?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention. All I know is that my cat, has been chasing off some hussy who's been running around with her bright red hair. Like, oh,
Pardon
you think
me,
red hair is more
were you
exciting
just
than my
yelling at random then? Or
Yes. Well, she's always answered me before. Look, you can't miss her. She has a big hat like mine.
understandably.
Miss
Okay.
Louise.
She's out of character. She seems like the person who would appreciate a title. So,
Great Magus Louise.
Yes.
Your cat is a familiar, isn't she?
Yes.
Then,
Let's say that.
Then isn't there a way to call her back to you?
Yes, I say, call me Tommy, come
No,
to me.
no, that's not what I mean. I mean with a spell.
Oh yes, the spell, right. The spell goes, call me Tommy, come to me.
oh.
And as you can see, it's not working. I might be out of reagents.
Are you realizing I'm not?
No, continue.
Ma'am, how long has it been?
This is Caitlin talking.
Oh.
Creed asked how long.
Huh?
Creed was
Oh.
asking how long.
She went missing yesterday.
Well, so you saw her chasing around the redhead woman?
Yes. She was some strange woman with a weird stick on her back.
It's probably a staff. If you saw her, then you must have seen where she went, at least in the beginning.
Oh yes, she ran off in that way. She points in the opposite direction of where you guys were going.
Oh.
But that was yesterday.
Can
I don't know where she is now.
Well, if we find your cat, then, ma'am, we'll be sure report back to
She doesn't seem like she's tried very hard to find her cat. So can I like check like for
Insight?
tracks
Or
and like
nature.
While you do that, can I roll insight to like see how
If she's being legit.
forthcoming and truthful she's
she
being?
seems
As you're doing that, she's starting to just kind of ramble to herself. Oh, boo-hoo. She was too much.
That's 21.
21? Okay. You can tell that she genuinely is looking for her cat.
Okay.
And she generally thinks she is the Grand Magus.
Can I look for tracks, trails?
Sure.
What is
It's probably
That'll be survival, yeah.
survival? Sweet.
Oh.
Wait. It's a 4.
Oh,
Okay.
with a 4,
Your
you're able to
minus
determine that a person has been kind
I'm
of
actually
walking
proficient
around in
in it.
circles, in a small patch of land, and the footprints end at the Great Magus Louise.
Great. Oh my god.
But she's ranting on about how her cat left her and all these things, and she the talking cat won't stop complaining about her hair, and she thinks I'm too much, but look at her, blah 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 blah. My hat hair's way worse, and you're a cat, so why does it? And she's like, oh sorry.
Plek is gonna tug at Mary Lisa's gown and be like, I think we should go.
I agree, darling. Thank you very much for your help, Great Magus Louise, but I think we were sent here as part of an investigation for the missing persons, and we'd best continue with our work. We'll keep an eye out for your cat.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You're the first person who's actually taken this seriously.
Does she look like she's about to cry?
Yes.
Oh. I say, oh.
And then she immediately turns and goes, "Call me Tony! Come to me!"
To Mary Lisa, Claire, she's gonna go, well, if she keeps talking like that, it won't be hard to find her later.
You're quite right. Shall we continue to the Scouts' headquarters?
Yes, please.
That sounds like a good idea.
The tower first, just to make sure.
Oh, yeah,
we're
the
not-
tower.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
we came here for the tower.
Yeah.
It's on the way, so it's
Luis
fine.
made me forget.
So you guys start heading off towards the tower.
Yeah.
Um,
I expect descriptions so I can draw these wonderful NPCs.
Of course.
I've been keeping track of most descriptions, especially hers.
As you guys start heading towards the tower, you start to hear some people kind of, mumbling around, kind of like, they're all like talking in circles, groups of people just kind of chatting and stuff. Do you guys want to listen in, or?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Do we roll anything?
They're not really whispering so much, so they just kind of
talking. So
they're just kind of talking. It's like,
Big
what you hear when like, I heard that a ghost has inhabited the well near the tower over there. I heard there was screeching and then a demonic roar, and then the other one's like, are you sure? Because I heard it was more like an earthquake rumble and not exactly a demonic roar. It's like, also the screeching was more like a, hey, I fell!
God, Elia.
I don't think ghosts scream about falling. They can float. And so that's basically, they're chatting about
That was
these
in
things.
character for Claire.
Well, it seems promising. Let's check it out, shall we?
So you guys,
I'm ready to fight demons.
Hopefully it won't come to that, but your readiness is
That's
appreciated.
spirit jam.
So, yeah, we're gonna go to that tower.
all right. So you guys go to the tower, and you can see this tower seems to be one of the guard towers, but it's not like the main one. So it's a little bit less fortified. There are fewer guards around, but you can tell they're all just kind of like standing there, kind of like shaking, and then looking over at a well off in the distance. And they're like, as they see you approach, they're like, hello, hi, welcome to the guard tower, the Eastern Tower.
Howdy there, fellas. What
Is-
seems to be the problem here?
Is everything all right? You seem quite frightened.
Well, there's just some strange noises coming from the well there, and we don't have any of our magic weapons with us. They were sent to get repaired and re-enchanted recently. So we don't know how to deal with the ghosts.
No worries.
Yeah, Mary Lisa fears nothing but her past. She's gonna walk up to the well.
All right.
We are the damage control crew,
Yes,
and we're
you
here
are.
to help you.
Yes, you are Plek the Undauntable. Let's go daunt a ghost.
Yes.
They
They're
kind
just
of like,
like nods.
okay, well, have fun. But you can just see the thumbs up are shaking.
Claire's gonna hang back for just a second. Just, maybe next time don't send them all out at once.
we realize that.
And then continue.
Plek is gonna try and like reach up to him and like pat him as high as he can, like kind of reaching for his shoulder, but like maybe grabbing him on the hip.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like his hip level.
Yeah, and he's gonna he puts one hand on his own hip and try and like deepen his voice.
On your hip.
Have no worries, citizen.
And then like jaunt forward with his chest pumped out.
Well said, Jack. Well said.
Yeah. So I think Mary Lisa didn't like stay behind his talk, so she's probably leading the way there.
So as you approach the well, you start to hear. I'm just gonna play this.
Ooh.
Spooky.
Do you hear it? It is a didgeridoo, yes.
Yeah.
Mood
She
music.
plays a didgeridoo.
Oh
And
my
you can
God.
hear as the didgeridoo kind of like stops, and she's like, "All by myself."
I look over the well.
Down at the bottom of the well, you
all just, like,
see
gather and
there
peer.
is a bright red head of
Oh my
hair
God.
and a didgeridoo, and also you see a pink hat on the ground. And then you hear another voice, "Not quite by yourself."
Oh god.
Alaya,
She kind of stops the didgeridoo. Which I'm gonna do.
Didgeridoo don't.
And she looks up and she's just like, "Oh, is that damage control?"
yes. How did you get down there?
Well, this darn cat chased me down the well.
How did you let the cat get you into the well?
Well,
Uh,
ha ha ha!
No,
Good
no.
job.
no. Please answer me.
Oh, well, here's. Oh gosh, I did it again. Okay, I'll try to say it
stay on
without-
topic.
okay. Yes, on topic.
Here, I'll say well for you. Well,
The cat is obviously some sort of magical fiend. It can speak. And obviously, it was trying to take my magic away
the
from
cat
me.
can speak.
So
Says
I
Claire.
had to run away. You know, I have to keep my bardic magic intact. I wouldn't let some fiend feast upon me. So I ran, and then I tripped over my didgeridoo and fell into the well. And thankfully, the didgeridoo fell with me, or else I'd be without a hope.
but,
yes,
but
thankfully.
why is the
How
cat?
did the cat
with
fall
you?
with you?
Well, it jumped in.
Oh.
And it's
Cat,
been
you
talking
speak
to
for
me the entire
yourself
time.
down there?
The cat kind of like looks up and is like, "Why would I talk to you? Who are you? You're not this beautiful redhead."
Are you Luis's cat?
Oh, Louise. Don't get me started on Louise. Did you see her blue hair?
Okay,
Blue
yeah.
hair.
A couple questions, if you don't mind. Are you her familiar or her pet or something?
Yes.
To which?
Are you
You're
her
a
familiar?
pet.
Yes.
Alright.
Okay.
We've made a pact.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, I see.
But not like a warlock pact. That would be insane. I'm not some sort of... What are you talking about? No, like a harvest witch pact. You know, they do that all the time.
I'm gonna roll insight.
Yeah, sure.
20 something.
yeah, no, he's lying. Or she's lying, that is.
Whomever.
The cat is lying.
Listen, what is your name? Is it Komitomi? 'Cause that's what she's been calling you.
Yes, I am Komitomi.
Well, I think Luis would like to get you back. You know, considering you're her pet and not her patron.
Fine. Get me out of this thing so I can go back to that slave driver.
I don't know how I can get them out.
I have
do
some
have rope.
rope.
I also have
Yeah,
rope.
we have rope.
We have rope.
All right.
There's
I'll-
also, the rope with the bucket for the well.
I don't know.
Absolutely no one
no one's
tried.
been.
Because didgeridoo is spooky when it's echoing through a well.
God.
Well, here's the thing about that bucket there. We're only gonna be able to get the cat out. We're not really gonna be able to.
I could dimensional door.
Yeah, you're pretty small too. Well, yeah, you don't even need. Wait,
Wait.
how does that work?
Why would
Doesn't-
the rope work?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Creed,
So we-
why
Yeah.
would
Okay.
the
We'll
rope
just
work?
throw the rope
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Okay.
So we'll use a rope for Elia and pull the cat up in the bucket.
So
Yes.
I'll unspool my rope and toss
Okay,
it down for
so let's see
Alaya.
how Alaya is at climbing. She's struggling.
I'm going to try to help.
Yes.
Help her.
Yes.
Let's, everybody joins.
Everybody.
Flex at the end.
Yeah.
Do we need to roll?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Everybody
Was it
roll
strength
She
or
has,
athletics
yeah,
or-
just strength.
Ooh.
Oh, Yeah.
19, yeah.
2. Great.
No bonus, but
6.
Wait,
Well,
we're
4,
rolling
but
straight?
still.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Plex pulling the back where all the slack is.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Okay. You guys are able to slowly pull her out. As she crests over, she just tumbles out the thing, but thankfully keeps her didgeridoo safe the whole time.
yeah.
Thankfully.
She then pops
That's
up
incredible.
and does an elaborate bow.
I inspect her for wounds. We all clap. I feel like that's a tradition for you guys.
Yeah.
And I come up to her and I say, "Are you hurt anywhere? Beyond your
Well,
pride?"
I've done a song of healing already, or a song of rest. I've been here for an entire day, so.
Oh, you must be hungry. He
Yeah.
ruffles through his bag and gives like one of the rations that was given by the
It's the Doritos.
the Doritos.
It's a
Yeah.
Lunchable.
Yeah. She pops it open and scarfs it down quickly, and she's like, "Thank you, I was famished." So I'm guessing that the rest of the quad has.
I sent them home.
Well,
Do you
you're
know that
probably
they
the
did
right
not
way.
abandon you, though? They were sent home. They did not leave you.
I'm glad. Thanks, Claire. I'll try to keep them in line.
Good luck.
You know how good I am at that.
Yeah.
And she walks
Please
away.
try hard.
Safe travels.
She's like, I'll be fine. Just keep the demon cat away.
Yeah, speaking of the demon cat, have we gotten it up
Buckets.
yet?
Yes, you
Yeah, I was
guys.
about to say, Creed, well, this is all happening with a lot of creatures, like, lowering the buckets, like, that's not none of my business.
But that's none of my business. So what is this cat? Is it like a black cat or what?
Yeah, so it's a black cat. It has a little red mark down the middle.
Not a patron. Okay.
And it was your insight check told you that it
It
was
was
lying about not being a warlock patron. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't mean a pact wasn't made.
I know. Yeah.
Yes.
You might still could be a familiar.
Yes. So he.
There's a warlock feature where like you get a familiar.
Yes, that's the pact of the chain.
Yeah.
So she kind of like puffs out her little cat chest and hops off of the bucket onto the ledge, taps her foot twice, and her hat appears on top of her.
There we go.
And then she's just like, "Well, with that, I guess I go back to the ball and chain." She hops off the.
Would you like an escort?
Yeah. What?
Would you like an escort?
An escort. I know where she is. It's really easy.
Fair enough.
Do you mind me asking, why were you chasing Elia down?
Well, did you see that hair? I mean, look at this mark. You see this? She points with her paw to her mark. That is a match made in heaven.
I'm gonna roll insight again. I just want to know if this thing's for real. Oh. And it's a good roll.
Oh no, it's under.
Under the piano.
The piano has consumed.
Yeah, 20 something.
You can tell that she was being genuine. She
Holy
really was
God.
like having the hots for that hair.
Well,
I
She-
see.
she's a match. They are a match. Well, not her
Either
and
way,
Elia.
I have to go back to the opposite color now. So,
Why don't you just
if I didn't
go
meet
here?
her in school, it would have been fine. I could have met this one, and it would have been great. But no, she went to the harvest school, and she didn't, and so now I have to do it. And she's just wandering off and she mumbles
talking to herself.
Meanwhile, you immediately hear,
Come to me.
Komitomi! I see you! You're back! And she runs towards Komitomi and then
You know,
picks her
like
up.
this,
Yes,
yeah.
like that. And picks her up, and you can just hear them arguing with each other
Good.
in a lovey-dovey way.
Aw.
Well, I suppose that worked out. Shall we go speak with the scout captain?
Sure
Alright.
thing. That covers one of the missing posters, at least.
Two, actually.
Oh,
One was a
Alright.
cat, though.
Yeah.
Elia didn't get a
Wait,
missing
but-
pussy, did she?
Was Idiot Bard a
Idiot Bard was
It was Idiot Bard?
Yes.
Oh.
They didn't
Yeah.
put a picture or a description. They just said Idiot Bard.
Good.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go take that one. I'm gonna bring it home.
I thought somebody said that she was kidnapped or something.
No, it just
That
said
was-
Idiot Bard missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna head to the scout captain.
Alright, cool.
The notice board isn't on the way, is it? Or where are we?
I mean, there are
at?
multiple notice boards. So you
It's not
pass up
permanent.
a notice board, yeah.
If there's another Idiot Bard thing,
Yeah.
I am taking that.
So
Also the cat familiar one, because hey, it's been... No, I'm just gonna say fulfilled. And very pretty handwriting.
nice. Okay.
You don't have like a stamp just like put on there that says fulfilled.
No, my calligraphy is too pretty.
Where did my...
That's fair.
She breaks up the entire set just to write fulfilled.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Number of the scouts.
You
Okay,
just like you have this sprawled set just like right in front of the nurse board, like the crier.
She
just
like, we have to wait like 10 minutes.
Not that long.
So, as you guys make it to the outskirts of town, to the tallest tower along the wall, you guys see the scouts flag. It's the Scouts of Loknal. They're well known throughout the kingdoms as being the best scouts in the kingdom as far as they go.
What exactly does being a scout entail?
They
In this-
in this context, so they only work within the realm of Norland. So they don't go out, even though they're the best scouts. They like unless it's a Norland business out in another
Swiss
kingdom.
Guards of the Vatican.
Yeah. So they are the ones who basically clear the migrants' way between each of the cities. And so that's their whole job is they go and make sure that the migrants' way is clear for the Great Migration, which happens, like I said, every few years. But they basically maintain the roads, but they're also like really good like rangers and stuff. So
They keep the highway safe.
yes. They keep this safe from highwaymen.
highwayman.
Yeah.
I work with my hands.
So
Was that a over the garden wall reference?
That definitely was.
Holy crap, dude!
So as you guys kind of reach the tower, you can see one of the scouts flags you down from the top of the tower. You can see them kind of flick their hand, and you see a torch light next to you, and then it's a message is sent, and it says, "What business have you with the Scouts of Lord Null?"
Do we write or are we just yelling at the
It's a message spell, so you can just reply and it'll reach.
Okay.
We're with the Wayward Valor Guild to investigate the missing persons.
And then they snap again and they say, "Patching you through," and then you get the doors open up.
Okay.
So
This is interesting. It's like I imagine there'll be several signatures you'll want to get in here.
so as you guys enter the gate, yeah, you notice there were no actual people on the grounds. Everyone is up above.
Scouting.
Yeah, scouting. So as you kind of enter the tower, you do see there's a secretary there. He's kind of shuffling the papers and stuff, and he kind of quickly snaps, and they all flow into a book behind him as you enter. It's like, you're the one seeking the commander.
Yes.
Very good. She should be on the 3rd floor, 2nd door to the right.
Thank you.
His accent is somewhere between like Russian and British.
Yes,
And
it's very interesting. he kind of like waves you off and
Thank
then
you.
Appreciate it.
goes back to his work. More
Goes back
pages
to
float in
drinking
front of
Mountain
him. Yes. So, you guys, make your way up there, following his directions, and there at the tower. You as you enter the room, you expect it to be a room in a wooden tower, but when you enter, you instead see what looks like a large like dome, not dome, like a curved glass wall. And there's a Pantera woman kind of like standing in front of it, looking at various parts of the wall, where she'll like kind of like put her hand in front of it, and it will kind of zoom towards that area. So as you enter, she hears the door, and she unzooms and turns back, and she says, "Greetings, I am Lalan Swiftpaw, at your service, commander of the Scouts of Loknal here in Einvend."
Claire Snowclaws.
Marilisa Everbright, pleased to meet you.
I am Plek the Undauntable.
Just Creed, man.
All right, just great. So, she as she like turned to face you, the image disappeared, and you were just in the wooden room again. She kind of looks and is like, "You're with Wayward Valor, is that correct?"
Yes.
Very good. You're here for the disappearances, then.
Yes.
ma'am.
Well, I've been keeping a very large set of notes on the disappearances, keeping in mind everyone who's disappeared, and even tracing back further to see if there are any previous disappearances that could have been linked. What exactly would you like to know?
What?
Is there any trace of evidence at the site of any of these disappearances?
And do you have any leads?
The most leads you've been able to find so far have been... A lot of them had family out of town that had been split from the Great Migrations. Some had decided to stay behind. There have been a few of them don't have are alone in the world. I suppose you would say they don't have any family. Though there are, of course, there's only a few of them. Some of them, like the recent guardsman had gone missing, had a wife and child.
Question: do we know what the Great Migration is?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
at the beginning,
When they
It's like
shift
a-
towns.
Yeah, so
Like
they,
every few years,
every
it's
few
like
years,
a big
the
town migration.
the whole town migrates to
Oh,
another location.
okay.
The only people who stay behind are people like the guardsmen, like the guard captains and stuff, to make sure that like the city is ready, and like they've got like some government officials basically.
To get things back running.
Yeah, to get
So-
things back running.
So the people who have been disappearing are either don't have family or have family that.
Or elsewhere, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is something.
Or they that has been like the
Generally
most
not.
common thread, but even so, there have been a lot of exceptions.
Right. Okay.
With the town guard.
Yeah, like the town guard,
Yeah.
like the young girl who went missing with the
The
blacksmith's
The
noble
daughter.
nobleman's son, the nobleman's
Noble
son.
Yeah,
son,
the
yeah.
noble's son, things like
Well,
that.
Let's see.
A lot to go on.
Well, as Creed mentioned, has there been any evidence left behind?
We have had the greatest detective works that we could, muster, tried to find things. Nothing that we found out of the ordinary. Not in any of the locations, the houses or things where people had gone missing. The few places we hadn't been able to check due to reasons that for some reason those who do have some family members are resistant to allowing as much investigation as you would expect someone who lost a family member.
That is odd.
Yes. Specifically, the blacksmith who
Really?
lost a daughter, I believe. He had been relatively resistant to the guards entering his house and investigating.
And she was the first?
No, she was the fourth.
The first one was some
The
person
first one
2
was one
years
of-
ago.
It was a scout.
Well, the first one 2 years ago was a cleric, but
Oh.
that was
Yeah,
the
it's
first one of
unrelated.
the most
Oh,
recent
of these.
like,
It was a
events.
scout.
Was one of
The
their
scouts. Right.
own. I can tell you every detail about about Igni Oakhollow, the one our scout who had gone missing.
Certainly.
She was scouting near the Chasm of the Wind, making sure that there were no threats that would be a cause for alarm for any travelers moving through the area. I had been observing her from my watch station thanks to some magic that I was gifted by a mage friend of mine. And when I had turned my back, she had disappeared.
That's
You were there.
I was watching, and this is why these disappearances caught my interest so much. Especially as more and more have happened, and more of these disappearances seem to have been nearly miraculous or instantaneous.
isn't the Chasm of the Wind is quite far from here, isn't it?
Yes, she was on one of our long-range missions.
If you don't mind my
Yeah.
asking, what was the mission?
As I mentioned, she was scouting the area to make sure that there weren't any of the monsters from the chasm getting into the road.
That was the sole mission?
That was the sole mission, yes.
What kind of monsters?
Basilisks, elementals, those sorts of things.
Do they usually come out of the chasm?
On occasion, especially during their mating season, which unfortunately it was around.
You don't suppose maybe a fellow scout would be part of this here, huh?
I highly doubt it. I have tabs on all of the scouts in my district and have very good connections with other scouts in other regions. If there was another scout involved, then I would be extremely disappointed, honestly.
Did you see?
Understandably so.
Yes. Did you see anything at the scene after you had turned back around and Igni was missing?
Nothing that I could point out as out of the ordinary for the area. I even sent some other scouts there and observed them, and they were able to return without any problem.
If it is
No
magical,
footprints, nothing?
No, they mentioned that as far as I can tell, she had reached the edge of the chasm, and then she had disappeared from there.
Since you were there, if it is magical, you didn't perhaps feel anything?
It was 3 months ago. I'm having trouble recalling exact feelings, but from what I remember, there wasn't anything that I would have said was...
Just a normal night.
Yes.
I imagine you all are very observant every 8 days or
Yes.
so now, huh?
Yes. Unfortunately, the scouts are meant to watch the land outside of our borders, outside of our walls. And so, although I would love to dedicate more of our attention to the interior part of the city, there are still dangers out there that we must make sure we take care of.
I was about to say, I hope that you guys have your energies in the right places, because this might all be a distraction for the scouts.
Yes, I have considered that.
Well, we'll look into it, ma'am. I guess our first lead might be on the blacksmith, since he's so resistant on letting scouts investigate. I imagine since we're a little bit of outsider folk and we're with the guild there, we might have better luck.
I would appreciate that greatly. Take your time, go and meet with however many you need to try to find out if you can find anything at all.
Absolutely.
This is going to sound fairly mercenary. Has anybody tried leaving a group of people out? See if there's anybody that gets picked off as an opportunist?
I don't... we have not done that, no.
Okay.
Neither has the guard. We are relatively protective of our own people.
I fully understand that. But as far as you know, nothing of the sort has been tried.
No. Not by us. You could ask a mercenary guild. One of the people were taken, but...
Excellent, thank you.
I guess we start heading to the blacksmith.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you for your time. I hope we're able to find useful information.
Of course. And now I have to rest. That spell took quite a bit out of me.
Our apologies for interrupting.
It's all right. She, walks off.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see, by the way, that there are, piles of scrolls. So she's not just casting that. She's doesn't have that good of a scrying ability.
Right. So if no leads from the blacksmith, I guess also Chasm of the Wind is somewhat of a lead.
Yeah, so we can start with the blacksmith, because that's in town.
At
That
least,
is in
yeah.
town.
It's in walking distance.
Mercenaries, chasm.
Yes.
And then we can talk to maybe the noble person.
Yeah,
Yes.
there are a lot of people. There's
We got people we
the
can
most
talk
recent
to.
ones. I mean,
Yeah.
That's true. Lots of missing peoples.
Yes. So it is 9.
Yes, it is.
So do you want to call it here? This is a pretty good place to call it.
I think it's a pretty good place.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
Although, we haven't really done too much, I think that this
We got
is,
established.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is a good starting session.